And good afternoon, everyone. This is Woody Collins, and we're here to talk about Congo. And two subjects that I have to talk about the Congo today is 9/11, or September 11th, the events that happened and how it relates to Congo. And the second thing that I want to talk about is uh, Patrice Lumumba, who was the first uh, Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and his why he's in the news again. So I'd like to thank you for stopping by. And I said, this is Woody Collins again with Congo Helping Hands, and this is our daily show where we talking about Congo. So let's get started. Okay, 9/11. I hope everyone appropriately and somehow remember 9/11 because it has had a big effect on some of the things that we do even today. Me as a traveler back and forth to Europe and to Africa and around the United States, it's just amazing what you have to do with now and put up with now uh, that you didn't have to do pre 9/11. Even after 9/11, one of the things when I was still working for the government, we used to say, "Oh, some places it would be, you know, it would be faster to drive than it would be to take a plane." By the time you showed up at the airport, 2 hours in advance, by the time you went through all the security lines, uh, it was in some cases it was not worth it to fly. Like we used to go from Indianapolis to St. Louis, or Indianapolis to Columbus, Ohio. You could get over there by the time you went through all the rigmarole of driving to the airport, being there in advance. You could use that time and you could be at the destination if you didn't mind driving. Uh, so it has a tremendous impact on us. But also, one of the things that I was really surprised was within days of 9/11 happening, we here in the United States, we started getting messages from our brothers and sisters in the Congo, and that they were praying for us and so forth and so on. And I thought that was a big uh, emphasis on me because I didn't expect it. Here's a people who have little, are in the middle of civil wars themselves and living from day to day, but they all felt that it was necessary to share in our pain that we were having here in the United States. So even when I went to the Congo later, after, say months later, uh, in the spring or summer, probably early summer, they were still talking about it. People knew who I was American. They would even come up and say, "Hey, we're still sorry about what happened to you," and blah, blah, blah. So our Congolese brothers were standing up with us, and that was very heartwarming to me and to a lot of people. The second thing I want to talk about today, and on that item, is Patrice Lumumba. Patrice Lumumba, I saw the movie. It was going around the theaters and looking at it. And what happened to him when Congo had its first election after independence? He was elected as the prime minister. However, with some problems that he had created, had manifested down in Lubumbashi, uh, they killed him and assassinated him. Uh, Based on the movie, it was a firing squad killed him. But just recently, like yesterday, my wife was reading a story and she says, "What is this talking about his tooth?" And what had happened was after the assassination, they took his body, dismembered it, and put it in acid to get rid of all evidence because they never wanted memorial, a grave site where people can pilgrim to and all that kind of stuff. So they dismembered his body, and his body has never been recovered or found, whatever the case may be. So it was kind of astonishing yesterday to read this article that the daughter of Malumba, Patrice, that she had requested that his tooth be returned to Congo. And I thought, tooth, I couldn't believe it. So, somehow one of the policemen who was in charge of getting rid of the body, he brought one of Malumba's teeth tooth back to Belgium with him when he left the Congo. And so, it's just amazing. It's just almost unbelievable that number one is, how did people know that he had the tooth? The Congolese knew he had the tooth. And then also there appears that the government somehow knew he had the tooth, because they went to court and petitioned the court to have the tooth returned. So, it's just, a story of, I mean, I don't know, being assassinated and dismembered, all that was big enough, but to take a tooth as a souvenir back to Belgium, and now the family has had to request the tooth be returned to Congo, or their family, or whatever happened to be. There are just some strange things that's going on in this world that makes it unbelievable. So those were the two topics that I had uh, on my mind today. And please, say a prayer for all the victims and also the families of 9/11, and also for all the firefighters and first responders who are still suffering from breathing all that toxic environment, working on site for months trying to recover body and recover things. So thank you again for tuning in. And this has been Woody Collins, with Congo Helping Hands, in another edition of Talking About Congo. And we will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for another episode.